This is Team Tundra's new game proposal, Steam City. Steam City is an RTS city management style game where players develop a town in the Steam world of Solara. Using resource management and tech trees, the objective is to build up your city and tear down the enemies. Players will have the ability to build units, specialize buildings, and research new technology. There will be a total of 5 factions to choose from, each with their own unique abilities. Factions include the Brood, a militaristic faction that focuses on military might and pure domination. They gain more resources for taking out unaligned camps and for killing enemy units. The Pragmosis, the faction favors logic and knowledge. They excel at controlling a battlefield through debuffs to enemy teams, and they have natural bonuses to research and upgrades. Order of Ultrap, a group of evangelical believers who use the might of their god to win over enemy troops and smite non-believers. While they don't excel in resource production or research, their troops are less costly. School of Arcana. Magic is the prime focus of this faction. Their tech tree differs the most from other factions. They do focus less on the development of Steam technology and more on the knowledge of the universe. You can use their sorcerers to dominate the battlefield and wipe out their enemies. Merchants of Solara. The trade-based faction is less of a military power and more of a resource powerhouse. With the ability to trade with other factions and gain large amounts of gold, they can control the battlefield with spies and mercenaries. Our intent is to have a faction-based real-time strategy game with quick combat and in-depth city management. Our game length is estimated to be about 30 minutes to an hour, with a teen rating for light language and animated violence. Our demographic will be 16 to 40-year-old fans of strategy games. Our platform will be PC with 1 to 6 players. And the gameplay is real-time strategy and city management with game types of free-for-all, 2v2, or 3v3, PvP with PvE as well. Our mechanics include defend, collect, swap, replace, and locate and find. With defense, the player will defend his or her city from encroaching enemy teams using specialty defense buildings or walls alongside an army. You can fend off other armies or unaffiliated groups. Collecting units, you can use units to gather resources and food, build up your reserves. Resources will have specific items or map points to be collected from. You can also collect research points to progress your tech tree. Swap and replace. Unlike a typical RTS, Steam City uses swap, replace, and manage resource buildings and units. With a fixed amount of resources, you can only control a certain number of buildings, units, and upgrades. Use strategy to switch your resources between living resource production, research, and military units. Note that this does not affect living resources like gold, food, and population growth. Locate and find. You can use your scouting units to find resource deposits and research nodes to help expand your city. Each node will give a set amount of resources or research points. The player will be using a mouse and keyboard to interact with the game, just like similar games like Sid Meier's Civilization, Age of Empires, and StarCraft. With the difficulties of switching to a swap replace style of mechanic was that it did fit very well, but there were some complications. Certain resources that were affected by the other mechanic are now secondary resources or living resources. This means that the focus of the swap replace mechanic doesn't affect secondary resources. This might streamline the overall game time and make games faster paced and action packed. The overall power of the factions had to be rebalanced as well.